and threw him into prison. The next morning he was sentenced by the court to death, but the king of this kingdom promised to grant him his life, and the golden horse as well, if he could rescue the beautiful princess from the golden castle. With a heavy heart the youngest brother set out. Luckily for him, he soon found the trusty fox.
"I ought to leave you to your poor decisions," said the fox, "but I pity you and will help you once more. Please listen, and this time do as I say. This road takes you straight to the hilltop castle. You will reach it by the evening, and at night, when everything is quiet, the beautiful princess goes to the garden to look at the stars. When she enters the garden, run up to her and give her this magic pebble. Then she will follow you, and you can take her away with you. Only do not allow her to say farewell to her parents first, or things will go wrong again."
Then the fox stretched out his back. The king's son seated himself upon it. Away the fox went over the stock and stone till his hair whistled in the wind. When he reached the hilltop castle, it was just as the fox had said. He waited until midnight, when everything lay in deep sleep, and the beautiful princess went to the garden. The youngest brother told the princess not to be scared and took out the magic pebble, telling her that it would bring her good luck.
Suddenly, just as the fox had said, the princess told him that she would like to go with him, but she asked him pitifully and with tears to be allowed to say goodbye to her parents. At first, he withstood her wish, but when she wept more and fell at his feet, he at last gave in. But no sooner had the maiden reached the bedside of her father than he and all the rest in the castle awoke, and the boy was put into prison.
The next morning, the king said to him, "Your life is savable if you take away the hills which stands in front of my windows and prevents me from seeing beyond it. You must remove it all within 8 days. If you do that, you shall have my daughter as your reward." The king's son began and dug and shovelled without stopping. But after 7 days, when he saw how little he had done and how all his work was as good as nothing, he fell into great sorrow and he gave up all hope.
On the evening of the 7th day, the fox appeared and said, "You do not deserve any more help. Nevertheless, go away and lie down to sleep. I will do the work for you." The next morning, when he awoke and looked out of the window, the hill had gone. Full of joy, the youth ran to the king and told him that the task was fulfilled. And whether he liked it or not, the king had to hold to his word and give him the princess.
The two set forth together, and it was not long before the trusty fox came in front of them. "You have certainly got what is best," said he. "However, the golden horse belongs to the princess of the hilltop castle." "How shall I get it?" asked the youth. "That I will tell you," answered the fox. "First, take the beautiful maiden to the king who sent you to the hilltop castle. There will be much excitement and joy. Upon seeing the princess, they will gladly give you the golden horse and will bring it out to you." All was brought to pass successfully, and the king's son carried off the beautiful princess to the golden horse.
The fox did not remain behind, and he said to the youngest son, "Now I will help you to get the golden bird. When you go near the castle, where the golden bird is to be found, let the maiden get down, and I will take her into my care. Then ride with the golden horse into the castle yard. There will be great rejoicing at the sight of the horse, and they will bring out the golden bird for you." When all was accomplished, and the king's son was about to ride home with his treasures, the fox said, "Now you shall reward me for my help."
"What do you require for it?" asked the king's youngest son. "When we get back to the woods where we first met, shoot me dead with your trusty bow and arrow and chop off my head and feet." "How can that be a thank you?" said the king's son. "I cannot possibly do that for you." The fox said, "If you will not do it, I must leave you. But before I go away, I will give you a piece of good advice. Do not sit at the edge of any water well." And then he ran off into the wood again.
The king's youngest son thought, "That is a wonderful beast. He has strange ideas. Who is going to sit at the edge of a well at a time like this?" He rode on with a beautiful maiden on the golden horse, with a golden bird in the cage, and this road took him again through the village in which his two brothers had remained. There was a great stir and noise, and when he asked what was going on, he was told that two men were going to be hanged. Oh no! As he came nearer to the place, he saw that they were his brothers, who had been playing all kinds of wicked pranks, and he had squandered their entire wealth. He inquired whether they should be set free.
"If you will pay for them," answered the people. "But why should you waste your money on wicked men and buy their freedom?" He did not think twice about it, but paid for them. And when they were set free, they all went on their way together. They came a clearing by the wood where the fox had first met all three brothers. And as it was cool and pleasant beneath the sunshine, the two brothers said, "Let's rest a little by the well and eat and drink." The youngest son agreed, and whilst they were talking, he forgot himself and sat down upon the edge of the well, and without thinking of anything the fox had said. The two selfish brothers pushed him backwards into the well, took the princess, the horse, and the bird, and went home to their father.
"Here we are, father. We bring you not only the golden bird," said they. "We have won the golden horse also, and the princess from the hilltop castle." Then there was great joy of merriment in the father's castle. However, the horse would not eat, the bird would not sing, and the maiden sat and wept.
But the youngest brother was not dead. By good fortune, the well had no water, so the boy did not drown. He had fallen on soft moss without being hurt, but he could not get out again. Even in this state, the faithful fox did not leave him. He came and leapt down to him and told him off for having forgotten his advice. "But yet I cannot give up on you," said the fox. "I will help you again into the daylight." He told him to grasp his tail and keep tight hold of it, and then he pulled him up.
"You are not out of all danger yet," said the fox. "Your brothers were not sure of your death and have surrounded the wood with watchers who are to kill you if you let yourself be seen." A poor man was sitting upon the road with whom the youth changed clothes, and because of this he got to the king's palace. No one at all recognised him, but the bird began to sing, the horse began to eat, and the beautiful maiden stopped crying. The king, astonished, asked, "What does this mean?"
Then the maiden said, "I do not know why, but I have been so sorrowful, and now I am so happy. I feel as if my true hero has arrived." She told the king all that had happened, that the brothers had threatened her with death if she were to say anything. The king commanded that all people who were in his castle should be brought before him, and amongst them came the youngest son in his ragged clothes. But the maiden knew him at once, quickly pointing him out to the king. The wicked brothers were seized and imprisoned. Then he was married to the beautiful maiden and declared heir to the throne.
But how did it fare with the poor fox? Long afterwards, the king's son was once again walking in the wood when the fox met him and said, "You have everything now, that you can wish for, but there is never an end to my misery, and yet it is in your power to free me. And again he asked him with tears to shoot him dead and to chop off his head and feet.
So the youngest son finally agreed and did it. And scarcely was it done than the fox was changed into a man, and was no other than the brother of the beautiful princess, who at last was freed from the magic charm which had been laid upon him many years before. And what is more, the king, the prince, the princess, her brother, the horse, and the bird all lived happily ever after, never thinking of golden apple trees, golden saddles, or even golden cages. For all they knew now was the value of help and kindness.
That was it. That was how the story went. That's just as I remember it. Beautifully read by such a wonderful bunch of people. I do wish you every happiness in the new year, and let's hope that next year is a better year than this one, although I think it's taught us a lot of lessons. Have a really lovely break from everyone at Arden School.